Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah. This is Jar of Fireflies, and here you will find videos all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 3. And in today's video, I'll be taking you all through a day in my life, as well as answering some of your questions. Okay, so I have gotten a ton of questions over the past few days, and the same questions kept coming up over and over and over again. So I will be answering some of those questions here throughout this video. I'll just be taking a pause in my day and answering questions such as, why did I choose the name Jar of Fireflies for my channel? What is up with that whole hand washing thing that I do in the morning? What do I wear to go swimming? And a few more. So in the meantime, today is Tuesday, so we've got a little bit of homeschool going on. We're gonna go out with some friends later today, meet them at the creek. We are huge fans of going to the creek to play in the summer. I love the whole just let the kids be wild in nature thing, and they end up learning a ton of science while they're out there, and it's just really fun. So that's the plan for later this afternoon. Other than that, not really sure what's gonna happen today, but you just never know, and I'll take you along for it. So before we dive into school stuff with the kids, which they are all awake, by the way, they have finished eating breakfast and they're in playing a game together in the other room, which really don't feel like interrupting that. So while they're in there doing that, playing so nicely, I will answer that first question. What is up with that hand washing that I do in the morning? Okay. So every morning, you guys notice in my videos, I wake up, I grab this little 2-handled cup and I wash my hands. I pick it up and I wash one hand, then the other 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 hand, for a total of 3 splashes of water, I guess, on each hand. So what's up with that? Okay, so there's a few reasons that we do this. First of all, let me just say that it's something that I do every morning when I wake up. It's something that I do after I go to the bathroom. I don't necessarily have to use the cup after I go to the bathroom, but I will wash each hand like that anyways. Okay, so one reason that we do this here in the morning is I'm about to start davening and everything. I'm waking up, about to start my day, start doing mitzvot, which is serving Hashem. So back in the day when we had the temple and we had the priest there in the temple serving Hashem in all the ways that they did, they would always wash their hands like this before their daily service. So we don't have a temple anymore, so we don't have those sorts of things happening anymore. So because we don't have the temple, our home is kind of like a mini temple, and we're serving Hashem all day long here in our temple. So we wash our hands here before we start doing that. By the way, when I am saying Hashem, that is what I call God. It's just another name for God that we use in common everyday language as a Jew. So another reason that we are washing our hands in the morning after we wake up, especially like right away when we get out of bed, is because during the night our soul ascends up to heaven to kind of recharge. And so only like the very basic kind of soul powers are remaining here with us. Just enough for like basic bodily functions. We're basically kind of staying alive here. So that leaves us in this negative spiritual state where we are very vulnerable to tuma. Tuma meaning kind of like impurity. So we wash our hands to make sure that we get off any tuma that we might have gotten during the night. So that's a couple of reasons why we wash our hands that way in the morning. I hope all that made sense. Hey friends, Future Editing Me here. I just wanted to jump in and say that this whole hand washing topic is a really big topic. And I am giving a very basic explanation for the hand washing. If you're interested in diving deeper into that topic, I am not probably the right person to ask because it's just not something that I know a whole ton about. I just know like the very basic reasons why we do it. But there are plenty of websites and places online where you could look. And of course, you may always ask your local Orthodox rabbi. All right, and back to the show. Okay, I am now gonna clean up quickly in here from breakfast and see if I can't wrangle one of the kids to do some schoolwork with me. Okay, so while the kids are doing school, I will answer a couple of questions that I got a lot about homeschooling. One, why do I homeschool my kids if there are Jewish schools nearby? Or are there Jewish schools nearby? And yes, there are Jewish schools nearby, and I have chosen not to send my children to those schools at this time. And the reason is, I mean, there's like a million reasons why I homeschool, I feel like. But the biggest one is that I feel that I can give my kids the best and most complete and fullest education here at home, where it can be personalized exactly to them with exactly where they are at in each subject, as well as being able to explore their interests and just really instill this love of learning in my children. I have always wanted to homeschool my children, so it wasn't an issue of like my son's type 1 diabetes making me want to keep him home where I could manage his diabetes better. However, that is a huge perk that I am able to do that. But anyways, I could totally make a whole video just on all the reasons why I wanted to homeschool my kids, but that's kind of the nutshell, basic version, the biggest reasons right there. Because it is almost noon right now, so I'm going to start throwing together some lunch here for the kids. And while I am working on that, I'm also going to answer another one of your questions, which was, what do we do if we mess up some of our dishes here in our kitchen? Meaning, like, for example, what if I was to go and eat something with a dairy spoon that had meat in it or something like that? So this totally does happen. And when it happens with something that's glass, like our plates, it's no big deal. I rinse it off and we're good. If it happens with something like one of our pots or pans that cannot be re-koshered, then I have to just get rid of it. If it happens with something that's made out of metal, however, I can totally re-kosher it and that is no problem. And I do that by submerging it into boiling water. Now, I happen to have a few of these items right now because we do mess things up. We absolutely make mistakes. It just happens. And let me show you where I keep those. Okay, so I keep them because I don't have room on top of my fridge anymore, which is where I used to keep them. I now keep them here underneath my water filter. So I have a few utensils that we have messed up here during some of the meals at our house. So I'm gonna throw some boiling water on the stove and go ahead and fix these. Okay, so I've got a really nice boil going now here on the pot, and I'm ready to fix these utensils. So all I have to do is put them in water. They need to be completely submerged here in the boiling water. It needs to be a nice rolling boil, as you can see it is, not just like a few little bubbles. It's got to be like a solid, legit boil. Okay. And I'm actually going to use these tongs so that I don't splash any water on myself. Okay, and the water was hot enough and there was only just a few utensils, so the water is remaining at a rolling boil. Had the water dropped down and not been a rolling boil anymore because of the addition of whatever objects I'm putting in there, I would have to get it back up to a rolling boil and then have it go for a little bit. So we're good now. And voila, they're now parve, meaning they're not for meat or dairy. However, because I know what they are intended for because of the shape of the silverware, as you saw in my Costume the Kitchen video, those are all for meat. Okay, now the kids are just wrapping up lunch over there, and I have been eating a little bit myself. And now I'm gonna get everybody ready so we can head out to the creek. So, see you in a moment. So I'm in there getting ready to go, and I just hear this rain. So I came out and yeah, it's totally raining. But I don't know if it's raining where we're going yet. So this doesn't mean that we're not going to the creek. And rain doesn't scare me. It's not thundering or lightning or anything like that. So maybe. But anyways, like all days, things just don't go as planned. So I'm gonna go finish getting ready. I'm gonna see about getting the kids ready, look at a radar map, see what's going on, and if we can make it to the creek or not. Because gosh, my kids really need the creek today. Okay, so it looks like the rain is gonna stop here in the next 10 to 15 minutes, so it will not interfere with our creek time. I don't think. Plus, I don't even know if it rained where we're going because we're going to somewhere that's not super close to where we live. So anyhow, while I've got you here, I figured I'd go ahead and show you what I wear to go swimming in because this question has also been asked quite a lot from you guys. So I wear a swimsuit, only my swimsuit looks like a dress. Let me show you. Okay, so this swim dress is made out of swimsuit material and it has a cool netting sort of lining underneath. It's very comfortable, but it helps it to not be clingy when it's wet. Okay, things that I love about this swimsuit. I love the color because it just looks like I'm wearing a black dress out somewhere, and I wear black a lot, so I'm totally comfortable in that. I love the sleeve length because it completely covers my elbows. I love the length of the dress because it goes down, it's like a midi length. And yeah, I mean, those things are all fantastic. It's a really great fit for me. What I don't like about this swimsuit is the neckline, to me, is a little farther than I would like. Like I don't love that the neckline is where it is. I wish that it was maybe like an inch more around or something like that. However, if I'm out and I'm getting some sun, which is like every time that I go out in a swimsuit because I'm at the creek or somewhere for several hours, I don't ever have tan lines that show up when I'm wearing my clothes that come up a little bit further. So that's kind of where we're at with the swimsuit. The swimsuit, by the way, is from a shop called Dainty Jewels, and I will link to them in the description box below. I do have another swimsuit that is a skirt and a top, and then I have a maternity top also that goes with that skirt. However, that swimsuit I bought before I got married and had kids and things like that, so I am not the same size or shape that I was when I first bought that swimsuit. So while the skirt still fits well enough, the top really does not fit well on that shirt except for the maternity top that I purchased later. But there is no reason for me to wear a maternity top right now. So I am loving this swim dress overall, and it's just a really fun thing for me to be able to wear out to, well, anywhere that I might be swimming at. Okay, looks like the rain has just stopped, so I'm gonna make sure that the kid, but that was thunder. So now we're gonna have to wait and see. And the rain's picking back up again. Okay, so I am gonna have to get back on the weather and check the radar and see if it's even storming where we're planning to go in. Kind of just what is the situation right now with the weather. Okay, whew, fun times. let's do this. Okay, so we obviously did make it out to the creek. When I checked the radar, the weather really wasn't looking like it was going to affect the part of town that we were going to be in. Of course, I was mistaken, and it did start to rain on us a little bit, so I started checking the weather again and just keeping an eye on things while we were out there. So they had a blast, and I was so glad that we were able to get out of the house, even if it was just for a little bit. All right, so we ended up coming home a little bit sooner than expected. We're on our way home now. It was raining off and on a little bit, but then I could see the radar that like more storms were coming. It started thundering a lot, so we thought it best to come home. But I am super glad that we were able to get out there for a little bit. The kids definitely needed to get out of the house today, so it's all good. So we're gonna get home, and I think the kids are gonna have a movie this afternoon, yes, which is part of school for my daughter. She's gonna compare the movie to the book that we just read, and that's kind of the plan right now. So let's go do this. Okay, I'm starting to feel like it is just going to rain all day. It is raining again right now, but anyways, we are home. We've been home for a few hours now. Basically, we came home, the kids all got showered and bathed and such, and I got the swimsuits and towels all in the laundry, so we'll have those again available for tomorrow. And we got started on the movie. They started out with the movie and a few snacks because they were hungry from all that running around playing at the creek. And we ended up pausing the movie there for a little bit because they were sort of, I wouldn't say losing interest, but I don't know, they were being siblings. We'll put it that way. So at that point, I turned the movie off. We took a little break from it. They all went off to play, and they played so beautifully. So that worked out really nicely. And then a little bit later on, I called them back in to finish the movie when it was like kind of around dinner time. And so we made it sort of like dinner and a movie. I made some spaghetti. I had some leftover bolognese that I had made on Sunday. So I just made some more, well, actually fettuccine. I didn't make spaghetti, I made fettuccine. Getting all technical here, right? But anyway, so we had that, the fettuccine and the bolognese for dinner. And they did that while they were finishing up the movie. And like the whole time it was hilarious. I didn't even have to ask my daughter to compare the book and the movie after we were done, because like the whole movie, she was like, that's wrong. That's not what happened. Or why is that happening? That's not what the book said. You know, it was really cute. So this was her first time to have a book that we had read together that we were then going in to watch the movie with. My son and I have done it for years. So anyways, super fun experience. So they are all back playing again now. My son is reading a book in the living room. The two little kids are playing in my daughter's room. It's just a giant pile of stuffed animals. No clue what they're doing, but I'm cool with it because they're being nice. And what am I doing? I've been editing this video so that I could get it out to you guys. And I'm about to go in and work on the kitchen a little bit more. And that's kind of what's going on here right now. Okay, so while we're here though, let me go ahead and answer one more question for you guys today. And that is, where did my channel name Jar of Fireflies come from? Okay, so there are many reasons, of course. So one of the reasons is that a jar of fireflies to me is just a very fun and whimsical thing. And I kind of wanted my channel to be not necessarily whimsical, but just kind of like that fun, maybe like a little bit of an escape, something like that. You know, when I think of a jar of fireflies, I immediately go back to literally with a jar of fireflies in my grandma's backyard growing up. I don't know, that's just me. There is also the whole like light part of it. You know, I wanted to be a light and kind of shine a little bit of light on Jewish life and what it is like for us as religious Jews, kind of what our culture is like, what our religion is like, and things like that, because the way that we are portrayed in the media so often is, quite frankly, just not true. And we're often portrayed in just like not a very good light, I think, because I know what it's really like to be here. I know what it's really like to be Jewish because I am here living the life, and I know that I am having a wonderful time. Obviously, I chose this life. I love this life. If I didn't like it, I would not be here. If I didn't like the things that I do, I would not do them. And I just kind of wanted to be, you know, shine a little light out into the world of like what it's really like, you know, and not like what some TV show says we are like. So yeah, there's that. I think it's cool. Jar of fireflies. I like it. Let me know in the comments below, by the way, if you call it a lightning bug or a firefly. I would love to know. I call them fireflies because I like that, but I actually learned lightning bug, I think when I was in Indiana. It was the first place that I saw lightning bugs. So anyways, now I call them fireflies, but I don't know. I use the term pretty interchangeably with the kids. So that is the last question that I will be answering in this video, but please let me know in the comments below. I'll start a thread down there. If you have more questions for me, I would love to do another Q&A. And while I have got you here, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I would love to see you here again, and hit that like button if you have enjoyed this video. Helps my channel out a lot, and it lets me know what kinds of videos you guys like to see. Okay, I'm gonna go clean the kitchen now. Let's go. Okay, day is done. It's a little bit after 8 o'clock right now, and I have just gotten all of the kids into bed. Nobody's asleep, but they're in bed, and I think at this point they're going to stay. Here's hoping. Because the last couple hours here have been a little bit rough. You know how they were getting along so well today? Yeah, the last couple hours, not so much. But that's okay. That's just part of life with siblings. Anyhow, I wish I could say that I was also going to bed because I am pretty tired. I actually like catnapped there for a minute. I don't know, for like 5 minutes maybe I slept. But anyways, yeah, I am pretty tired, but I want to stay up and do the laundry because I have been ignoring laundry, and it's now, there's like 4 loads on my dining room table right now. So I want to get through at least a little bit of that before bed. But as exciting as that is, I am not going to film that. I'm going to go ahead and call this video a close. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload.